Have you ever wondered if there is a relationship between culture and the emotions we feel? Shame, guilt, and pride have been studied to decipher if there is a relationship between culture and emotions. Current theories of emotion, such as the Cannon-Brad and two-factor theory, suggest emotion is formed as a response to stimuli, often brought about by a stressor and physiological processes. For example, when we feel guilt, perhaps we start to sweat or shake. Our mind will then label that response and realize we are feeling guilty. To understand how culture affects emotion, we must understand what culture is. Culture is extremely broad and often difficult to define. To put it simply, it is a group or society in which someone identifies and relates to. So, what is the effect of culture on self-conscious emotions such as shame, guilt, and pride? Shame is viewed differently across cultures. Some, like Western culture, view shame as a negative emotion, an emotion to be avoided that reflects an individual's failures and undesirable traits. In other cultures, shame is viewed as having motivational power, therefore having a positive connotation associated with it. Shame is often used as a tool by many cultures to regulate social systems and hierarchies. It can be used to alter someone's self-confidence and self-image. Casting shame on someone, therefore, holds a lot of power over their social standing in a cultural sense. Continuing on, guilt is used as a tool also, primarily by modern Western cultures, to manipulate, intimidate, and punish others belonging to the same culture or other cultures. Connections between empathy and guilt culture have also been made. Cultures that practice empathy and view empathy as morally relevant often partake in less guilt culture and feelings of personal guilt. In other words, cultures that show empathy feel less guilt and place less guilt on others. For example, if you culturally connect and belong to a group that understand why you lashed out because you failed an exam and are crying because the situation upset you, not only will you feel less guilty for crying and lashing out, but those around you will also feel less guilty for understanding your point of view instead of judging you. Unlike shame and guilt, pride is widely viewed among different cultures in a positive light. There are also lower feelings of pride in collectivist cultures rather than individualistic ones. This is because pride is much easier to measure in relation to one person and their successes, as opposed to the success of the masses. Literature and research surrounding the culture of men or masculinity also demonstrate higher levels of pride are felt, although sometimes these higher levels reflect negative outcomes on mental health and overconfidence. Current literature and studies indicate a relationship between culture and the expression of self-conscious emotions like shame, guilt, and pride. On a wide scale, these emotions are suppressed or expressed depending on the norms of an individual's culture. As cultures interpret these emotions differently, studying individuals can give insights into the power that culture has on the feeling of particular emotions. However, more research into the topic should be conducted.